Well, NASA's Ambitions project, we're talking about the human spaceflight. In fact, joining us here on NDTV is Ms. Lueders to throw more insights about how 2024 is going to be like. In terms of preparations and also the journey, if you could tell us how it's been.
Oh, so we just had our first Uncrewed Mission land. And so the team's very, very, very excited because the first mission that checked out all the key systems worked beautifully. But the next mission is going to be the one that actually tests out our crewed vehicle. And then the Artemis 3 mission is going to be the one that actually takes that crewed vehicle and then attaches it to the SpaceX human landing system and lands the whole crew then on the moon. And so we got to take it one step at a time. What we found out is very important to do every step carefully and safely, because when you're flying people, the systems and errors are not forgiving. And so we have a ton of work to do, but what's really cool about it is we're so excited that this first mission went fabulously. And so that means that now we can work on the next one and then the next one. And it's a very exciting future.
Which is the upcoming one? Is the 2024.
So the next mission will be the crewed launch, which is in 2024. And then at the same time, we're getting ready to do our demo missions of the lander. So while we're getting ready to do that crewed mission with the Orion vehicle and flying our crew around the moon, SpaceX is doing work on their lander system. And then the two are coming together on Artemis 3, what we call our Artemis 3 mission. And then that's the historic landing mission. That right now will be 25, 26 timeframe.
What has been your most challenging time since you took over as the first female in terms of the human space flight, the head of the human space flight? How has it been challenging times? Any encounters you could tell us?
Well, I think you got to take it one step at a time. It was really tough to go get ready for the first launch attempt on the Artemis 1 vehicle, and everybody's a little disappointed when you have to stop and work through problems. But that's the way human spaceflight is. It took us to the third time to be able to do the launch, but the launch was beautiful. We learned so much from those first two launch attempts. So I think what I've learned since taking over as the first female human spaceflight manager is you learn along the way, and that's what makes then the ultimate mission accomplished and be safe.
Okay, well, you've also been in charge of the exhaustive, the testing programs as well. You just spoke about, basically your challenging times, the encounters, and you have, especially the space agency has partnered with Boeing and SpaceX. Mm-hmm. But partnering with other space, any other, in the future, are you all partnering with anybody else, coming up with any, so that you all can take the humans safely to space?
We are really open for business to be able to work with as many folks as possible, right? I think what's very exciting about where we are today is that we're trying to find new ways to be able to partner from a science perspective or a technology perspective to have as many people as possible be involved in some aspect of the Artemis mission. It may mean that they're providing a lunar payload. It might mean that they're providing an instrument that'll end up landing on the moon. But really, exploration is an international endeavor, and one of the reasons I'm here is to be able to continue to work with another international entity to be able to have us find new ways to cooperate together.
Okay. Ms. Lueders, I just wanted to know this. You have been the first woman to lead the NASA's human space flight. And also, but you have also said in the past that earlier it may be a boys' club, but not anymore. So after you have, after you have come into place, have you seen more and more women leaders taking over in terms of various positions in the space agency?
Well, just look at our Deputy Administrator, Pam Melroy. She's an example. But we've had other Deputy Administrators that are women too. Now, when we get an administrator that's a woman, that would be a great thing. But right now Bill Nelson's doing a fantastic job. So, we just need to keep chipping away, and I do feel like, we had a group of women, young women here in the audience today from the local school, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of them maybe become our future administrators in the future.
Well, during the Trump's administration, I believe it was decided back then in 2024, putting 2 astronauts, right? Is that on track?
So I'd say just like, with the current mission, just the current Artemis 1, I'd say we're a few years behind President Trump's original vision.
Yes.
But what's great is we're continuing to make progress towards that vision. And so we got the uncrewed demo done. We're going to get our crew demo right, and then it'll set us up for us to be able to put, like we said, boots on the moon, and the first woman on the moon, and person of color, and will be in that new cadre going to the moon. So I'm very proud of the fact that we're continuing to make progress, and when we land on the moon, it's going to be with a female.
Okay, so it's a work in progress. But do you already have, which year could it be? Because since you said, yes, we are behind the schedule, do you have enough, a year on mind? Any particular year?
Well, right now we're aiming for 25, 26, but what we all know is you can't just jump over steps. Right? So we need to get this first mission done. We need to get the next mission done. And then when we're ready, we're going to get on the moon. But right now we're aiming for 2026. We'll find out when we go. But what I do know is when we go, we're going to be bringing those people there safely. And it's going to be a great day for us.
Well, it's interesting also for us to know about, of course, during the Trump's administration, it was back in terms of the year, it was 2024, right? You did talk about maybe we are pushing it toward 2026. Would you be able to tell us and throw more light what could be those challenges that you're encountering so that you're pushing it to 2026? If you could throw some light.
Well, I think the big thing is we're developing new systems.
Yes.
So whenever you're developing new systems, there's a whole lot of testing and different careful steps you need to make along the way. And you can't skip steps. That's the problem, right? So you can't, one of the challenges we have is we've got to get it done right and make sure that when we're going, we're going to be ready. So we always have schedules and goals, but what's even more important is we have a plan for what we need to do to make sure we can deliver people safely. And we're not going to skip steps.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Lueders, for joining us here on NDTV.